Good evening, Colerain. Good to be with you this evening. John Philip Sousa earned the nickname the March King, and the Washington Post March is one of the best-loved works. It was written in 1889 for an essay contest sponsored by the Washington Post newspaper in Washington, D.C. The march quickly became a raging international sensation and helped establish Sousa as America's premier composer of marches. Even today, more than a century later, that same infectious energy has us tapping our toes. We'd like to stay with that spirit of American music, but take it in a completely different direction. Our next selection is American Salute by Morton Gould. Gould composed this work during World War II, taking the familiar Civil War song When Johnny Comes Marching Home Again and transformed it into a brilliant orchestral showpiece. You'll hear the famous melody appear in many different disguises, sometimes bold and triumphant, sometimes lyrical and reflective, and sometimes very dazzling, virtuosic passages throughout the orchestra. It's a piece that celebrates not only a beloved American tune, but also the remarkable colors and capabilities of the modern American orchestra. Here is American Salute by Morton Gould. Okay, now we catch our breath. That was fantastic. As we celebrate the 250th birthday of America, it's only fitting that we pause and recognize the men and women who preserve the freedoms that we enjoy today. For 2.5 centuries, generations of Americans have answered the call to serve, often leaving behind family, careers, and the comforts of home so that liberty could endure for those that would follow. Our next selection is the Armed Forces Salute, a musical tribute featuring the official songs of each branch of the United States Armed Services. As your service song is played, we invite you all, veterans and active duty members of that branch, to please stand and be recognized so we can thank you for your service. In addition, if you are the spouse, parent, child, grandchild, sibling, or other family member of someone who has served or is currently serving, we invite you to stand as well in honor of your loved one. Their sacrifice is shared by the families who support them, encourage them, pray for them, and welcome them home. The reason we honor the families, too, is a lot of times the servicemen and women come home and they come home damaged. And who has to deal with that? The families have to deal with that. So we want to honor you as well tonight. Their sacrifice is shared by the families that support them and encourage them. As each anthem is played, I'll announce the branch it represents. At the conclusion of the piece, please join me in thanking all of these remarkable Americans for their service and sacrifice. Very fitting for America's 250th birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, the Armed Forces Salute. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Coast Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Navy. Thank you again to all of our veterans, active duty service members, and military families. We are forever grateful for your service. As we continue celebrating America's birthday, we're going to shift from patriotic music to one of America's greatest contributions to the world, musical theater. Our next selection comes from the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical Ragtime. Set at the turn of the 20th century, the story follows three families whose lives become intertwined during a time of tremendous change in our nation's history. It's a powerful story of hope, perseverance, opportunity, and the pursuit of the American dream. It was put together by powerhouse Stephen Flannery, lyrics by Lynn Ahrens, blends the infectious rhythms of ragtime with the soaring Broadway melodies. Even if you've never seen the musical, it is classic, quintessential American, and you'll hear that American energy, and it's heartfelt, and it's mistakenly American. Here's Ragtime. Thank you so much. As we continue this birthday celebration, we'd like to recognize another remarkable American whose imagination has touched generations around the world. From California to Florida. Anyone know who I'm talking about? One of the greatest Americans, Walt Disney, believed in the power of dreams, creativity, and perseverance. From very humble beginnings in the Midwest, he built a legacy that has become part of the American cultural heritage and has inspired millions of children and adults alike. His stories remind us that courage, hope, kindness, and believing in something bigger than ourselves are timeless values. Our next selection, Disney Magic, brings together some of Disney's most beloved melodies. Whether you grew up with these songs or you're sharing them with your children or your grandchildren, I think you'll find yourself smiling as these familiar themes come to life. For many of us, Disney music isn't just entertainment, it's the soundtrack to treasured family memories that stay with us for a lifetime. Please enjoy some Disney Magic. Your support of live community music makes concerts like this possible. And we hope you enjoyed a little Disney magic. Before we take a brief intermission, we're going to play a really interesting piece for you. One of America's greatest concert marches, Edwin Eugene Bagley's National Emblem March, written in 1902. It's become one of the most beloved marches in the American repertoire, known for its brilliant energy and its memorable quotation of the Star-Spangled Banner. Listen for that familiar tune as it emerges from the music. After this march, we'll take a brief intermission. We hope you'll stretch your legs, visit about, and be back with us to celebrate more of America's 250th birthday. We have more exciting music waiting for you. Please enjoy Edwin Eugene Bagley's National Emblem March. It's your Cincinnati Civic Orchestra, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the wonderful musicians of the Cincinnati Civic Orchestra. They've welcomed me with open arms over the past few weeks. It's been a genuine pleasure to make music with them, and I hope you appreciate all the hard work they're doing tonight. I'd also like to recognize Maestro Larry Bonhouse, who is recovering from surgery and able to be with us today. Larry has devoted many years to this orchestra and to this community. We wish him a full and speedy recovery and look forward to welcoming him back onto the podium very soon. Most importantly, thank you to our audience for being here tonight, because if you were not here, we'd be playing for the lawn. We just listened to the George M. Cohens, known as the man who owned Broadway, and many of the patriotic songs we still sing today, You're a Grand Old Flag, Over There, and others came from his pen. His music has been inspiring Americans for well over a century, and it seemed like the perfect way to begin our second half as we continue celebrating America's birthday. Now we're going to have a little fun. Our next piece is probably the most famous American march you've ever heard. John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever. But do not applaud at the end. If you do, I'll slap your hand. Because we're going to roll right into a Cincinnati Civic Orchestra tradition. Who has been listening to Sirius XM Channel 148 the last couple weeks? Last week was, what was it on Channel 148? It was Christmas in July. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. You'll catch up or you'll age into it, I promise you. Okay, Channel 148, there is a thing, Christmas in July. I believe the Boston Pops is celebrating Christmas in July this week. So it's a thing. It's for those people who have separation anxiety about Christmas, okay? All right, so they have a really cool arrangement after Stars and Stripes Forever called Jingle Bells Forever. And we're gonna go right into it, and you can pull out your fur coat, your fake fur coat, okay? Let's get that right. And you can warm up and enjoy some Jingle Bells. The tune of Jingle Bells sneaks into this great American march in unexpected ways. See if you can catch it before it finally reveals itself in all of its glory. And Merry Christmas in July. But first, here's John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever. Give it up for the piccolo players. Okay, you can put away the snowman now. Our next selection comes from one of America's most beloved composers, Aaron Copland, whose music has often been called the sound of America. Through his works like Appalachian Spring, Rodeo, and Fanfare for the Common Man, Copland captured the beauty, optimism, and wide open spirit of our nation. The melody you'll hear is called Simple Gifts, a humble tune written by the Shaker community in the early 1800s. The Shakers believed in lives of simplicity, hard work, and faith, and this beautiful melody has become one of the most treasured folk tunes in American history. The opening words of the song, quote, "'Tis the gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free. 'Tis the gift to come down where we ought to be. Those words remind us that some of life's greatest blessings are found not in possessions or status, but in humility and gratitude and freedom. As you listen, you'll notice how Copeland transforms this simple melody into a series of colorful variations, allowing each section of the orchestra to bring new life and breathe new life and personality into the tune. Please enjoy Aaron Copeland's variations on a shaker melody from Appalachian Spring. Your Cincinnati Civic Orchestra's woodwind section. They do a beautiful job. Our next selection comes from one of the greatest musicals ever written, West Side Story, premiering on Broadway in 1957. It brought together an extraordinary creative team, music by Leonard Bernstein, lyrics by Stephen Sondheim, and choreography by Jerome Robbins. Inspired by Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, the story moves the timeless tale of love and conflict to the streets of New York City. While the musical contains moments of high tension and drama, the selections you'll hear tonight highlight its heart, soaring love songs, unforgettable Latin-inspired rhythms, and its youthful energy. Listen for beautiful melodies like One Hand, One Heart. Tonight, along with the vibrant dances and colorful orchestrations that have made West Side Story a masterpiece of American musical theater. It reminds us that America's greatest artistic achievements have come not only from concert halls, but also the Broadway stage. Here is Leonard Bernstein's West Side Story. Well, we've celebrated America's history. We've celebrated America or Broadway, and we've celebrated the silver screen and patriotic music. Now there is nothing left to do but head to the beach. The Beach Boys helped define the sound of the 1960s with close vocal harmonies, infectious melodies, and songs about surfing, fast cars, endless summers, and a myriad of other things we don't talk about. Ironically, Brian Wilson, the musical genius behind many of their greatest hits, wasn't much of a surfer at all. He simply had an incredible gift for capturing the feeling of the California lifestyle in music. Their songs became part of the soundtrack of America, and more than 60 years later, they're still making us smile. So if you find your foot tapping or suddenly feel like you're cruising down the Pacific Coast Highway with the windows down, do not blame us. Please enjoy the melody of Beach Boys classics featuring Good Vibrations, I Get Around, and California Girls. No sunscreen required. All right, you can wipe the sand off your feet. As we near the close of tonight's concert, we thank you for joining us as we celebrated America's 250th birthday through the music that has shaped our nation's history. On behalf of the Cincinnati Civic Orchestra, thank you for supporting live community music. Your presence here tonight means more than you know. Well, we conclude our journey with the music of another great American composer, John Williams. Many scholars consider him the composer of our time. His scores for Star Wars, Indiana Jones, E.T., Jurassic Park, and so many others have become part of our shared musical heritage. Here's a fun fact. The Empire Strikes Back premiered in 1980. Its score earned John Williams another Academy Award nomination and the unforgettable Imperial March, Luke, I am your father. Darth Vader's theme became one of the most recognizable pieces of music ever written for film. It's amazing, just a few notes can instantly bring an entire character to your mind. As you listen, you'll hear many of your favorite themes from The Empire Strikes Back, including the heroic main theme, Han Solo and Princess Leia's love theme, Yoda's theme, and of course, the unmistakable Imperial March. May the Force be with you. your Cincinnati Civic Orchestra from another galaxy. As we come to a close tonight's concert, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us as we've celebrated America. On behalf of the Cincinnati Civic Orchestra, thank you for supporting live music. I'd also like to offer a special word thanks to Meister Larry Bonhouse, although he couldn't be with us this evening. His years of dedication have shaped this orchestra into the wonderful organization it is today. Our final selection is especially meaningful and was arranged by one of Cincinnati's own Edward F. Howard. Tribute to America weaves together some of our nation's most beloved patriotic songs, melodies that have encouraged us, united us, comforted us, and reminded us of the blessings of freedom through generations of America. As we listen, let us remember that while our nation has faced many challenges over the past 250 years, we as always have found strength in faith, courage, and shared hope for a better tomorrow. May we continue to be worthy stewards of the freedom we have inherited, and let's always be grateful to those who have sacrificed to preserve them. Thank you for spending your evening with us. We wish you God's richest blessings, safe travels home, and we hope to see you again at another Cincinnati Civic concert. your Cincinnati Civic Orchestra. Have a wonderful and safe drive home. Thank you for coming.